Yo, what's happening, world? B Marsh Boxing. I'm back at it with another boxing video. So, Shakur Stevenson been making his rounds on Twitter, Uh, he's basically out here negotiating on social media, you know what I mean? Talking about he's not taking a 75-25 split from Devin Haney. And that's his prerogative to do that, you know what I mean? I wouldn't take that neither of my first offer, you know what I mean? Now, what does he deserve? That's up to him and his team to make the best negotiations for the most amount of money they can for Shakur Stevenson. You know what I mean? Do I believe he's ducking what's his name? Devin Haney, because he's not taking a 75-25 split? No, not at all. You know what I mean? The man's trying to he's trying to up his value. You know what I mean? He did well for himself in Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center. You know what I'm saying? Enough people turned out. I'm not sure if he sold out the whole arena, but he did well for himself. Enough people in Newark, New Jersey turned out, you know what I mean? It's just like the Danny Jacobs and Triple G situation, you know what I mean? Danny Jacobs didn't take the initial 25% they were trying to give him. A lot of people considered Danny Jacobs ducking Triple G at that moment. No, he didn't, you know what I mean? But eventually they kept negotiating and he got a better purse than what he was initially offered, you know what I mean? Now, Shakur Stevenson also has the option of uh, taking this fight to purse bid, you know what I mean? And it's up to whomever's gonna, more than likely how it goes. They're gonna take the averages of his last three fights, you know what I mean, and to make a starting point or where to bid at, you know what I mean, in the purse bid. So time will tell. They just got into these negotiations. I don't consider Haney ducking Shakur, or I don't consider Shakur ducking Haney. But that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about Devin Haney's, Shakur Stevenson's frustrations. And he's trying to get a fight lined up sooner than later. You got to respect him for that. He's not just sitting on his hands waiting for his opportunity as a WBC mandatory for all the straps that Devin Haney holds, right? He wants to be active, and he's not trying to call out nobodies. Guess who he's calling out? He's calling out Lomachenko, as it should be, you know what I mean? The man, Shakur Stevenson, went on his Twitter, and you could read it for yourself right there. Let me wipe my camera right quick so you guys could see for yourselves what I've seen. Shakur went on and he tweeted to Lomachenko. He said, "Yo, Vasyl Lomachenko, nothing but respect, champ. You deserve them belts. I hope you healed up and everything is all good with you. I think it's time for a real high skill level chess. I think it's time for a real high skill level chess. I'm ready for a big fight, champ. Let's make something happen." So that's what he writes, you know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson thought that Lomachenko won the fight. Then he went back and watched the fight. Then I guess he thought that it was a draw, or he could see Devin winning, or he could see Lomachenko winning. So he's all over the place. And I like Shakur Stevenson, man. But you're a boxer and you got two eyes. Just call it how you see it and stop flip-flopping, you know what I mean? Real talk. And Lomachenko retweeted back to the guy. He retweeted back uh, to Shakur Stevenson, you know what I mean? And he told him this. You can read for yourselves right there. He said, "Thank you." He said, Shakur Stevenson, thank you. I am okay. But I'm sorry. I have unfinished business with at Real Devin Haney. Another contradiction. Oh, yes, indeed. Another contradiction. I distinctively recall Lomachenko and his manager, Igor Klimas, talking about after the fight, after they lost to Devin Haney, that they're not going to give Lomachenko. I'm sorry, they're not going to give Devin Haney a rematch. I personally found that laughable because who is the loser to say that they're not going to give the undisputed champion a rematch? Lomachenko, you got it twisted, my boy. You don't call the shots in that position. Devin Haney can activate the rematch clause. You know what I'm saying? Lomachenko said, we're not going to give Devin Haney a rematch. That's what he said. And the man even cried. Y'all saw Lomachenko crying. If you didn't, it's on the internet. Look it up. The man cried after he lost to the man, and he said he's not going to fight him. He's not going to give him a rematch, which he can't give him a rematch. You're not in position to call them shots. But for a man who thought that he won the fight, why wouldn't you go back in the ring and fight the guy for a rematch? If you thought you really won the fight, go back and go get them straps convincingly. Floyd Mayweather, when he fought Jose Luis Castillo, the first fight, they said it was controversial. Boom, guess what he did? You thought I lost the first fight? Let's do a rematch. He beat his ass in the second fight. He did the same with Maidana, you know what I mean? You check it. Evander Holyfield got a gift decision as far as that draw versus Lennox Lewis, the very first fight. He was lucky to get the rematch, but Lennox Lewis wanted it more because he beat him on my card 10 rounds to 2 in the first fight. So Lennox Lewis is like, man, let's do it again. Lomachenko said we're not giving Devin Haney a rematch, even though he thought he won. Okay? So him telling the man Shakur Stevenson, you know, what did he tell him? Thank you. I am okay, but I'm sorry. I have unfinished business with real Devin Haney. It sounds like you're trying to not duck Shakur Stevenson when you say that on Twitter because of what you said at the press conference after the fight versus Devin Haney, that you're not going to give him a rematch. Like I said, it was laughable. You lost the fight. You don't even have the bargaining chips to even call them kind of shots. Yeah, I mean, but now he's saying he has unfinished business with Devin Haney. Which one is it? Are you going to fight Devin Haney or you're not going to give him a rematch? If you're not going to give him a rematch, are you going to fight Shakur Stevenson? It's only right. I would love to see it. I think it's only right. Then Shakur Stevenson went on to say after Lomachenko tweeted him that he says, I understand, champ, but if he ducks you like he's ducking me, it only makes sense for us to get it in. Okay. And that's so true. But Devin Haney's not ducking Lomachenko. So if Lomachenko does not want, quote unquote, is not giving Devin Haney a rematch, then fight Shakur Stevenson. There's nothing else to talk about, nothing more to do. But we'll see. Lomachenko, he's a funny style guy. Absolutely. I lost a lot of respect from him from how he carried himself after the fight and didn't address. He basically didn't address anything about the fight. He said stuff about Jesus Christ and how everybody in the arena knows that he won. He didn't carry himself. He showed a lot of poor sportsmanship. You know what I mean? And that's okay because it doesn't matter because he lost the fight. He left with no belts, so he could be salty all he wants. He could, in his mind, think that he's in position to give Devin Haney, the man who still has all 5 straps, undisputed lineal ring magazine, all that. He could think that he won the fight and he's not going to give the winner a rematch because ultimately he was the loser, right? And he could still be in la delusional land. But in the meantime, in between time, the year's going on, and we would like to see Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and Lomachenko in very good fights for the end of this summer, going into the fall and the winter before 2023 ends. Balls in your court, Lomachenko. Be Marsh Boxing, I'm out. Leave your thoughts and comments. Gone.